We are being programmed to chase fake results. In school, you memorize a test just to get an A. At my job, they literally cleared the floor during a safety audit just so the company could get a perfect score. And as a basketball player, I also see people treat the game like this. They just focus on the end result, whether they won or lost, or whether they made the shot or not. You're not going to worry about hitting a shot when your form is off. So if you only care about that final score and hate the ugly process of making the mistakes leading up to it, the system has already won. So here's the lie that school taught you, and how do we break out of it? Before we fully get started with the video, I really appreciate you guys' support on the last video. You guys' comments were very lovely on there, and thank you guys for joining the community, and I hope we can create a tight-knit group. We are now one big family, guys. I just want to say thank you, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So like I said earlier, at my job, we have these quarterly inspections where someone comes around and they basically ask questions in your department to make sure that we know safety protocol. But whenever inspection time comes, everybody is supposed to clear out of the department, so to avoid the mistakes that anyone says anything wrong. The craziest part is that this is what these inspections are for, right? Because if you get something wrong, then that's like, okay, you made a mistake, now you gotta fix it. So it should be for trying to improve. Instead, everyone's just chasing that good score. And that made me realize, wait, we're actually chasing results over actually understanding the process. With basketball and any sport, you might be able to perform well at lower levels, but when you get to higher levels, if you're not focused on the right form, the right technique, and the way of doing stuff, you will plateau very quickly. And you also have to build muscle memory for whatever sport you're in. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is the root cause of this? And ultimately, I came down to it, it's school. In the school system, at least here in the United States, how do we deal with things? First of all, we put way too much pressure on the grade. They just make you memorize something and then you move on. And let's say you get the grade back and boom, you never see it again. I mean, I'm not in school anymore, but I remember, like, dude, I'm also guilty of it. I cheated in school sometimes. I think we all did. Comment down below if AI helped you cheat on a test before. Be honest, my boy. The thing is that that's what's wrong with the system. I didn't like learning what I was learning about, therefore I wasn't gonna try. I was just gonna try to get the grade, keep my grades up so my parents could be proud of me, and then bam, I never see calculus ever again in my life. So I didn't learn anything, and I just got a grade that's absolutely meaningless now. And now that I think about it as I'm recording this video, the classes where I low-key got the worst grades are the classes I learned the most. Cause I remember at the beginning of the semester, I would start trying. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna cheat at all on any quiz, any test, any homework. I'm not gonna ask anyone for the homework. And then I would start trying, and my grades went to shit. And that's when I was like, okay, yeah, I can't do this. And it's not like I didn't think I could do it, but also I have a teacher grading me, and you know, the standard is based off her, not only the curriculum. And it's like, we should embrace wanting to learn. That should be the whole point. Maybe that's why I love math so much. I always loved math growing up. I even do now, like finances and things like that, because you can't be in the middle. You're either right or wrong, and you have to know how to do it. Like, you have to show your work. There's no other way around it. If you plug in the wrong number on the calculator, you're gonna be wrong. And it's not like an ABCD that you could just memorize or something like that. It's not like a date for social studies. Oh, when was the World War? 1942. So either the system moves with us, or we move with it and we lower our standards to it and then create a habit of, I don't really have to learn this. Another critical example is learning a language. I was actually blessed that my parents came over to the United States when I was like 9 years old. So my first language was actually Spanish. So I had no choice but to learn English. And the first couple of semesters, like literally the first semester, I didn't know jack squat. But now I'm bilingual. And that's something that you can't just fake. Like, a lot of people are just like, well, I learned a couple of phrases here in my Spanish class, but I passed it, but now they can't hold a conversation. So did you really learn, or was it just for the grade? I also noticed that sometimes I would help people with their Spanish assignments, and I'm like, dude, I'm bilingual in the language. How am I getting some of these questions right? Because then they would come to me and be like, yo, you literally made me get a bad grade. I'm like, dude, what do you want me to say? I know the language. Oh, maybe it's a different dialect. Okay. Because Boricua Spanish is very different, y'all. But it wouldn't have worked if I only learned a couple of phrases in English. Yeah, you start on that route, but if you can't hold a real conversation, then you don't really know the language. And this moves us on to our next topic, which is AI. I cannot imagine what students nowadays are going through with AI, and teachers. Because AI was not a thing when I was growing up. Yeah, Google was and Wikipedia was, but it wasn't the same. So I could see how kids nowadays, they don't want to do any of the reading and they just ask AI like, hey, summarize this for me. Hey, do this for me. And I honestly can't imagine how they're learning anything. Unless you block that out of them, they're not going to learn anything. And honestly, AI is just a tool. It's just a tool that we all need to learn how to use, and I'm also guilty of it sometimes. It's not like I don't use AI at all for my content creation. I actually use it quite a bit. They're growing up ages. The difference is that these are impressionable kids. I luckily left and educated myself in school at a time when there wasn't AI, so I learned a little more. But if I feel like I didn't learn as much as I should have, and there was no AI, I cannot imagine these students now. I mean, there's even more problems that AI is causing, and I don't mean to bore you guys, but I did read an article the other day that says like 86% of students and teachers used AI in 2024 to 2025. And some of the consequences that it has are stuff that I wouldn't even have thought about. That if the teacher uses AI in class, the students feel even less connected to the teacher, and it decreases peer-to-peer connections too. Like I said, I don't think AI is inherently bad at all. I just think we need to learn how to use it. There should be classes on it so we can learn how to use it, and this needs to be like something like how I feel like we should have learned taxes in school and financial literacy. There also needs to be something that people learn about AI, so they learn how to use it. Because if not, we're going to continue on that cycle of chasing the result and not the journey. The journey also comes with beautiful experiences of fuck ups and cool results. But if we just go throughout school, just AI takes my test, AI takes my quiz. Oh, hey mom, look, I got all A's, but you didn't learn anything, then what's the point of all this? What's the point of even being here at that point? So don't just chase the grade or the score if you're at work like me. Instead, we should seek to learn, we should seek to grow, and remember to be patient. Because old me, when I kind of just quit on it and I was like, you know what? In the first half of the semester, I was like, I'm going to take up cheating again because I was getting a lower grade. I know it's going to be tough because you're not going to want to lower your grade. You're not going to want your parents to feel less proud of you. But let's say if you do use AI behind closed doors, go back over the material, teach it to yourself, make sure it's ingrained. I appreciate you guys for stopping by again, and I will see y'all next time. Nos vemos.